Hey everyone. My apologies for being a little bit late. I try to be on time. Where you leave the computer, you come back and you discover that it's been upgraded by the Mac. And so you have to shut it down and restart, and it's doing funky things. And for some bizarre reason, Macs need to have an upgrade every 2-3 weeks. And of course, it never works that well after it gets upgraded. It's a very bizarre thing, Macs. I love my Mac, but there's a little bit of a hassle. So thank you, everyone, for your patience, and happy days. Happy to all of us. It is Thursday. Traditionally, we use Thursdays for our, what do we call Thursdays? Oh, yes, Hot Topic Thursdays. Yes. So I want to make sure I've got the questions out and open. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Good to see you all here. Thank you for your support, for your love, for your compassion, for being your beautiful, wonderful selves, for being beautiful, sensitive people. There's a lot of us. Let's give gratitude, shall we? Let's give gratitude on this wonderful Thursday, even though some crazy stuff has been going on. Hi, Cheryl Callahan. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Massachusetts, beautiful. I love the state of Massachusetts, and I love your chowder and your muffins. I used to go to this one cafe in Cambridge. I didn't have a lot of money. I'm wearing my Invisalign in case you're wondering. I didn't have a lot of money, 18 years old, but I could afford clam chowder and those muffins. And they would stick it in the nuke, and out would come this beautiful, I don't know. I got really into muffins when I was in Massachusetts. I don't know why. Hi, Judy Jamerson. Good to see you. Hi, Maureen. Rita R. Berry, 53. Woo, woo. She is in the house, and she is keeping us kosher. Hi, Jennifer Cooper. Good to see you. Elaine D. Welcome, welcome. Jill Otero. I know. I had a sleepless night. And so, when you can't sleep, I tried to do profiles, right? Profiles in courage. So I tried to stick myself. It's a quick technique, HCRV. The HCRV people, they know this stuff. They do it all the time. But you send empathy to the subject, Putin, and then you try to sit in their shoes, and then you go into your gut, and you really try to sit in their shoes and look out at the world the way they would. So that's what I did last night. I did a bunch of quick HCRV, putting myself in the shoes of Putin and shoes of the oligarchs. And hey, if you can't sleep, you might as well go to work, right? Did I say hi to you, Jennifer? Hi, Jennifer Cooper. Elaine D., welcome to you. Hello, everyone, to you. Jill Otero, hi. I believe I said hi to you, folks. Jen Bing, welcome, welcome. Joe Biden, what'd y'all think about the speech for the nation? Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert screaming their heads off like they looked a little bit like chimpanzees. Did you see some of those photographs of Marjorie Taylor Greene? I mean, they were like, woo, woo, woo. It was like Missing Link or something. I don't know. They were practically jumping on the furniture, right? What an embarrassment to the nation. What an embarrassment to the Republican Party. I think there need to be consequences. I'm all for free speech, but for crying out loud, it's just not appropriate behavior. I wouldn't have supported that during Trump. I didn't support that during Trump. Neither did RBG. It only makes the person who's doing it and their party look pathetic, right? Oh, terrible. Hi, Asprey, Third Eye. Good to see you here. KR222, welcome. Linda Kingsley. Shopping by Sal. Russians are taking civilian and mercy care ships and pushing them into mines. Well, sure, because what Putin is saying is that they are enemy combatants, right? You were a civilian, now you're not a civilian. You were an innocent civilian, but now you've got weapons. Now the neighborhood watch has turned into a battalion, right? So at that point, he can pretty much kill them all from his perspective, right? Because they're no longer civilians. So if they have to do what they have to do to keep their country from being wiped out, and they have turned their community watch into organized with guns, then hey, they are enemy combatant. All right. Cindy Thompson, good to see you. And thank you for being a member, Cindy. I do appreciate that. Red Gypsy, hi, Linda B. Thank you for your help today. Misty Rose K. Williams, Allison Jacobs, thank you for being a member. Anna Masita, a friend and a member. Much appreciated. Buddha Lion, a member as well. So just to let people know, I also started a Patreon channel because alas, I'm going to have to start paying those $350,000 in student loans back. I know it was fun while it lasted, being able to take a break, not having to pay interest. I lived frugally and I shoved all the money into my retirement. Anyway, so I'm doing Patreon and I'm thinking it's going to be my artistic stuff. You guys can hang out with me in my apartment if you want to join the Patreon. I think it's $2 I charge. And I'm going to start playing some music. Yeah, the artist in me. So if you want to hang out with me and support me in the pain of paying my student loans back, then gosh darn it, check me out on Patreon. And thank you. I've already got like 11 people. So yeah, so I made $22. All right. So that's good. Thank you. Yeah, Janice Eidenberg, the soldiers were not told the truth. Very, very sad, huh? Also, I'm getting a lot of calls through Wizio. I'm having fun with Wizio. Wizio is the inexpensive option for people that cannot afford full readings. I think it's $20. You get like a 5-10 minute reading and it's taped, so you get to keep it forever. You just send me your question, and then within a day or two, sometimes it's a little later depending, I tape the answer, send it to you. It's awesome. I'm happy, they're happy. We're all happy. Miss Patricia, thank you for being a member. Good to see you, Miss Patricia. Wonderful driving instructor. She's too nice as a driving instructor. Donna Stevenson. All right, let's get the party started with some questions. Donna Stevenson is going to go ahead and lead us. And of course, you know the drill. We're going to go ahead and start with the empath prayer. Does that work for you guys? All right, you can see I just came out of the shower. Yes, Marjorie, you're offended. You know, I was feeling like it might be construed as prejudiced against Republicans if I say that they look like chimpanzees, but I'm an anthropologist. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, the way that she was holding herself, if you've looked at the works of Jane Goodall, excuse me, that aggressive stance and beating the chest, she really, take a look at the photograph of her, she really looks like the missing link. I mean, I'm sorry, I know. I'm not saying all Republicans. And you're right, it is an insult to chimps. I do like chimps. All right, let's do the empath prayer. Stop laughing. I can hear you all the way from here. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together we say, Amen. So I want to talk a little bit before we go into this blitz about last night's remote, how I felt as Putin. I felt, remember a couple of weeks ago, we did a video. I'm going to try and see. This is the old timers. I apologize if you're new. I felt like I'd been hit with poison. I put myself in a remote. People wanted to know what was medically wrong with me. And I felt like I had been poisoned. I had been hit by something. And this was not the first time that I had been poisoned. Now, if you're talking about, I did some homework, which I usually do after I do a remote. If you're looking at something like ricin, it just takes what can fit on the head of a pin, right? You just poop, like the person who assassinated the guy in London. He had the ricin poison at the end of his umbrella. He tapped the guy and injected him with enough ricin to kill him. So you have Putin sitting at the end of this long table. He's towards the door, meeting with he doesn't know who he can trust anymore, which kind of reminds me of the Stalin at the end of his life, right? He doesn't want them touching him. He doesn't want them having any physical contact with him, right? So you can put it in the palm of your hand, the needle in the palm of your hand. You can pat somebody, right? That's another way that they can get it into the victim. So he doesn't trust his own cabinet anymore. So this guy has been hit. Either they found ricin in his system or he's already been poisoned, something. But this guy, I'm telling you, somebody's poisoning this guy. The other thing which came up was that I was reading that they can also, the Russians, assassinate through the clothing. So they treat the tie, you put on the tie or the shirt, and then you sweat, and then the poison gets onto the skin, and from the skin it gets absorbed into the bloodstream. So they're saying he doesn't want to change his clothing. It's, you used to be, he probably used to take his clothing and, send it to the dry cleaner, right? Now the guy's like, hold up. He doesn't want anyone to touch his clothing. He's getting paranoid about changing his clothing. He doesn't want anybody to get to this guy. Something is going on. And I also think if you look at the amount of intelligence that we came out with, that Blinken came out with in front of, I believe it was the Senate, it's very obvious that our information is coming directly from people inside the Kremlin, right? So I feel as a remote viewer, when I put myself in the shoes of Putin, that I can't trust anybody. Is it my girlfriend? Is it my ex-wife? Is it my head general? Is it my maid who's doing my dry cleaning? That kind of crazy feeling, right? So that's why I invited other people to do profiling, to do the meditation technique, to just show empathy, put yourself in the shoes of the subject, imagine that you are them. What would I do? What's going on with me? And then focus on your gut and see what kind of emotions come up. And that's like a basic HCRV technique. And then just see what you all come up with. But what I came up with was absolute terror, no sense of power anymore. I didn't have power. The way that I used to have power is not the way that I didn't feel like I was in my power anymore. And I was no longer confident. I didn't feel confident that the people that were supposed to be protected, I used to be so confident before as Putin that my people are going to be protecting me. And now who the hell are you people, right? It's crazy, right? All right, so the first question is coming from Donna Stevenson, and she writes, will Putin intimidate, I think she meant to say intimate, not to join NATO. I think she meant to say intimidate, if I'm not mistaken. So, and then Bugs Bunny, is that a joke, Bugs Bunny? Okay, let's take a look at Putin. And if you see, I'm getting energy. I will look to light spots or light energy. I'm getting light energy coming out of Romania. Remember, I'm a typical American. I don't know it was in the Northwest. I'm like, there's a corridor in the Northwest. It's open and wide, and there's a light coming through. It's Romania. Romania, which has missiles that can intercept nuclear warheads. So if they hit anybody with nuclear warheads, the missile system in Romania would intercept before they got too far off the ground, and then basically the nuclear fallout would come raining down on the Russian people, right? So that's interesting. All right, let's take a look about Sweden and Finland. And then last night, I started feeling that light over Sweden. I'm like, is Sweden going to bomb them? Is Sweden getting pulled into this? Energy changes in about 2-3 days. So it's one of two things is going to happen. Either Kyiv is going to fall or we're going to have to do something. Are we going to let Kyiv fall? That's the question. Stress, 9 of Swords. I feel like the people of Sweden are starting to get freaked out. I feel like, yeah, they play war games. Yeah, they play cat and mouse. They do these things, but that isn't the same kind of energy as now. Oh, they do this thing all the time. I did the remote. Then literally around the same time or soon after, they started talking about Russia entering Swedish airspace. So I'm like, oh, that's why the Swedes were popping. So the energy was popping. So they're not okay. The Swedes are stressed. They're not getting sleep. This is starting to take a mental toll. Imagine if you were next to these nut job. Imagine if you were next door and you saw what was happening. Of course, Finland is freaking out. Of course, Sweden is freaking out. But you also have the 10 of Cups, right? So the karma card is the 10 of Cups. So again, it's that energy that I was feeling last night, that something beautiful and positive is starting to come out, like this positive energy coming out of Sweden. But right now, they're having a rough time, Sweden and Finland. I'm seeing sleep disturbances, panic attacks, prepping. This is scary for them. They're looking at, they're watching their border. 3 of Wands, you get is a good luck card also. They'll take refugees. Sweden's willing to take overflow. Who's behind them? Who they've got the back of the 10 of Swords. So definitely offering medical care. Definitely offering aid and comfort to the Ukrainians. I see that happening in Sweden and in Finland. They're going to protect you. You can come here. We got you. We've got you. We've got a military. There's some kind of assistance here. There's a strong woman I see in Sweden and Finland. There's a strong woman, a stoic woman who comes to lead, and another woman. I'm seeing strong women in Sweden. I don't know who these people are. Again, I can't keep track of everybody. 9 of Cups, they get their wish, and what they're entering into is a contract. Something is happening in Sweden that involves some kind of a contract, some kind of a powerful woman the sword of justice, the stoic, reason. The 10 of Cups is coming out, and they're entering into some kind of agreement. They could open up their airspace. So there's something here potentially about them entering into an agreement that assist the immigrants. So it could be that they allow them safe passage and medical care, and that the Swedes offer medical care, comfort, and aid to the wounded. They're very upset emotionally. It's very traumatic, this experience. We can see a new contract coming in. The sword of justice, the Queen of Swords comes. They're on the fence about what to do. Two of Pentacles, they don't know what to do. Two of Pentacles, they're rocking back and forth. If we sit back and do nothing, he's saying he's going to march on Berlin, right? The good old days. He remembers hanging out, right, in the Bauhaus. He remembers hanging out in East Germany, right? The good old days, right? East Germany. Let's divide Berlin again. So they're between a rock and a hard place, right? Do we sit here like sitting ducks, or are we talking about a surprise attack when Biden says you have no idea what's coming? What does he mean by that? Does he mean we know that the energy shifts in about 4 days, now 2 to 3, right? Because I said that day and a half ago. Something's going to happen. I think it's make it or break it for Kyiv. Either they're going to do something or Kyiv is going to fall. And then you still have this Two of Pentacles. The other in relationship with them, a judgment is coming. A judgment is coming to Russia. They still have free choice to stop this. A judgment is coming. This cannot be completely the power and the decision of one person. The hope and the fear, King of Pentacles, some man in a position of power. What sign is Zelensky? Karma. So karma is what meets you, right? So they are meeting their karma. I think the Queen of Swords represents Sweden. I think it's an actual symbol of Sweden. She kind of reminds me of the Viking female, doesn't she? She's there with her sword, the strong Viking female warrior. Sorry, I dropped my cards. The main thing I see is Sweden actually helping. Helping vulnerable people, helping the victims, possible medical aid, assistance. I love that 10 of Cups. But how could you possibly feel safe? So they take you, Sweden takes you, and the next thing you know, Sweden's being attacked, right? I could imagine Putin not liking Sweden because Sweden didn't necessarily like, they didn't necessarily like the Tsar over there, right? January 25th. So he's an Aquarius, the man of reason. I really feel that they're probably going to get involved. Sweden is going to have to fight. They're going to give financial aid, medical aid, and they're probably going to enter the fight. You can see here financial aid. The Russian people confused. Look at that. Their judgment confused. The other in relationship to the Aquarius, how I read the 8th house. The hope and fear. Their relationship with the man of business. I don't know who that is. The final outcome is the karma and the fight. So I think they're going to enter into it. What do you think? Putin, October 7th. He's a Libra? Putin's a Libra? Why did I think he was a Scorpio? I feel so bad for Sweden. Did you see that 9 of Swords as the base of their issue? They're going through some stuff. Well, that may be why it's better for Sweden to attack. If they're not in NATO and if they've already acted aggressively towards Sweden, wouldn't it make sense for us to give aid to Sweden? Because Sweden isn't part of NATO. So it wouldn't be NATO attacking him. It would be a sovereign nation that is not part of NATO. I mean, I don't know anything. I just follow energy. I mean, I always have to stress that to people. I'm just following light, and a corridor is what I saw in the Northwest. And then being a typical American, I had to go and look at the map. What the hell is that? And then Romania. Oh, why would there be a light and a corridor in Romania? I thought everybody was going up. Northwest would be Poland, right? But the open corridor was Romania. So we've got troops, we've got military, we've got interception missiles in Romania. I didn't know this. I know what you know, right? So, Sue Ellen, hi, how you doing? She wanted to know what Putin was planning in the Arctic and if this is just a distraction and if there's also going to be stuff going on with Putin in the Arctic. I don't know. We do know that they've been cutting through the ice. And there, again, it has to do with trade and trying to get through areas that have been traditionally blocked for them. So since the Soviet Union collapsed. So let's take a look at what Putin is up to in the Arctic. The Arctic Circle. Yeah, Zelensky's, I love Aquarians. I've had some great Aquarian boyfriends. They're just so damn nice. That's my favorite flavor, I think, is Aquarius men. All right, Putin in the Arctic. Boy, if my mother had met Zelensky when he was young, you know, she would have been Whimsy. That's your guy. Now he's Jewish. Nice boy. All right, Putin in the Arctic. All right, Putin in the Arctic. We'll just do 4 cards. He is moving. He's opening up trade. He is a Libra. You want to see it? Traveling, he's moving through, he's pushing through. Who? The air sign male, that's Putin. He's negotiating a new trade with the Lover's card to make money. It's not, kind of what we expected, right? The clarification over the move. It's business, right? Ace of Wands, new business relationships. Probably with China, with... yeah, he felt it was a good judgment, a good business decision. It was business. Heartbroken over his trade. And then the final outcome, smooth waters lay ahead financially for Russia. I think Russia's going to come out of this. I don't think that Putin's going to come out of it. Thank you, Foggy Ozark. Very kind. I appreciate that donation. Hi, Ann. Good to see you. Hi, Joel Tilson. Good to see you as well. Zelensky is too tiny. Well, I'm Hungarian Jewish, so on my mother's side. So we're neighbors. I have family from Budapest. So, all right. So Joe, Did I get, there was a question, exclamation, and I guess I missed one last time. So I don't want to be doing that because I know people get frustrated if I don't see the questions. I know Pierre Walker and all the other people that volunteer are doing their best. Oh, cat breeds are banned. Well, that's too bad because they got some great cats in Russia and they're big too. Those big, big kitties. I've seen some massive kittens, and there's that one cat that rescued. You guys know about that rescued cat? Well, it was like a cougar or something. They've got some huge, in the Siberia, they've got some massive cats. And people domesticate them. It's really cool. That's probably the Russian cats are bred with some of the wild breeds in Siberia. They're really beautiful, some of them, really beautiful and really big. They're like, this is a cat. It's a huge. Can you imagine having to feed one of those? What would happen if you didn't feed it? You know, like if you missed breakfast or something. It's really big. Okay, Lenore 52, she had a question. Thank you for being a member, Lenore. I appreciate that. Are Boebert and Green, that's a really good question. I'm glad this question was asked because I feel the same. Are Boebert and Green ever going to suffer the consequences of their actions from Tuesday night? Will the GOP ever sanction them? Absolutely. There has to be some censorship in Congress. We can't have this continue on where every time a president we don't agree with comes on. Oh, the PM of Sweden is a woman. Oh, that's the Queen of Sweden. Thank you. Not to interrupt. Yeah, there have to be manners. Screaming at Obama, screaming at Trump. You know, there are ways to get back at Trump without us looking like idiots. You know, I mean, there are ways, you know, at the polls, right? By voting, by, you know, but this only makes you look bad. And it's, yeah, there have to be rules for how people behave in chambers and during. I just thought it was very inappropriate. So let's take a look and see if Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Oh, I read lips, by the way. And he was saying he doesn't want to take away the guns or something like that. And I looked at Boebert, and did you all read her lips? Pardon my French. She said, "What a bunch of shit." Did you see her? Go back and take a look. She goes, "What a bunch." And she goes and she looks over at Marjorie Taylor Greene and she says, "What a bunch of shit." And you can see it right on her lips. I'm like, oh my God, you're talking like that? Holy cow. Terrible. Thank you, Terry Brown. I appreciate the donation. All right, let's take a look. Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Consequences for their actions. The Republican Party is really freaked out right now because of this whole third world war. And I think that they were working on contracts and supporting, you know, it's like what happened when the GOP wanted to take away its policies regarding protecting Ukraine when Trump was running. Those types of maneuverings have been going on. And so those contracts are over now. The money is, you've got a lot of confusion in the Republican Party. This came out inverted. I think that they are really done with this. You know, it's like when you looked at Mitch McConnell, he was looking like he was about ready to cry. It's like the dream is dead for the Republican Party. It's like all those contracts. Also, they really kind of believed that they could work with these people. The grief, the lost contracts, the lost business. This is traumatic for the Republicans in the sense that You think it's those dumb liberals, and why don't they like Putin? And come on, the guy's not that bad. And, all these apologetic attitudes about Putin and wanting to work with the oligarchs, some of whom don't like Putin either. But now that all of those businesses have been shut down, and there's almost this feeling of depression and horror, like, what the hell have we been a part of? You really get this grief here. And then here is the women with the heart. So, no, their time is over. Look at that. They're confused. Their time is over. Regarding the inverted 10 of cups, there's a judgment coming down on them. Yes, some kind of censor or something, because the high priestess truth is coming out over an inverted 10 of cups, which would be an end of the relationship, the family, or the happy family, over the issue of grief. There's going to be legal action or police action or charges. This is going to continue. These actions against the oligarchs and those people that participated in working with the oligarchs, taking money from the oligarchs, I see a raid. There's a lot of depression and unhappiness here with the Republicans, and it has to do with shutting this whole thing down. It goes back to what Robert Mueller said to us: sooner or later, you're going to be mine. I can't get over the water. I can't get to the money, but I followed the money. And we're going to shut you down. The day will come when we will shut you down, and tick tock, right? Tick tock. Sooner or later, you're going to be mine. Tick tock, right? So the grief over the Republican Party, and then violent police action. Justice over an issue of finances. Misappropriation of funds. What's interesting is that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert supposedly bring a lot of money into the party. They raise money for the party. And then the weird thing is, you have this swooping down of these oligarchs and all this money and confiscating everything. And these are people that are funneling, they're the dark money that's been funneling Republican campaigns. So this is kind of blowing up. McConnell looks like his party is over. He really looked like he was in tears, didn't he? Hi, Dory. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. It is greatly appreciated. What do y'all think about that? Mueller, it did investigate the money. He was not allowed to put it into his report. So what he did was he followed the money, and then he handed everything over to the FBI, which then buried it in a series of investigations. So, but he did follow the money. Hi, Terry. Sorry we had to cancel class, Terry, for the State of the Union. I know she's itching to get her teaching certification. 2 more classes and she'll have her teaching certification. Yeah, Bill Barr and Donald Trump no longer have a love affair, do they? Yeah. Okay, let's keep going with these questions. You guys are giving me some great questions. I'm just going from the questions here. Oh, I thought this was funny. Hi, Joanne Harper. Hi, thank you for your question. She said, I had a dream with Dave Johnson in it. I was asked to come aboard a UFO. Ooh, that sounds like fun. The craft was full of American medical people. Are some doctors already working with extraterrestrials to advance medicine? Doesn't that sound like a fun question? All right. So, ETs. What's the story with ETs, medical advancements? I heard the most interesting story from somebody about that. I'll leave it for another time, but I used to be very skeptical about extraterrestrials, and then I started looking at all the evidence that this stuff is real, like the flying ships going into the ocean, and the fact that that the Pentagon is saying it's not us and it's not Russia or China. If it is, then they're 500 years ahead of us, and we're, it's like this. This stuff is real. They're like shutting down nuclear facilities, and yeah. So let's see about ETs. I'd also like to see if extraterrestrials are going to do anything to intercept, because this whole nuclear thing is scary, right? So let's see what the ETs are up to. I thought it was all a bunch of crap. I did. And then I watched all the evidence. And Marco Rubio freaking out and basically saying, yeah, it's like, we got to find out who they are. I'm like, are they basically telling us that there are ETs? Did you guys see the UFO documentary that was put out by those Pentagon people that are actually studying it, and the Tic Tacs, and they're getting testimonials, and it's crazy. People that have, one guy, John McCain, got him his oh, Mila, you just had to, didn't you? She wants our attention. Everybody say hi to Mila. She does that when she's bored. Gee, what happened, Mommy? How did that happen, Mommy? I don't know, Mila. How did that happen? All right, ETs. It almost looks like that actually turns out to be the truth, in the sense that you have the fool who gets taken up on a journey, right? The fool goes on the journey. So for I think it was Miss Harper asked the question, they get taken up, right? They get taken up on a ship, but you have the fool here who goes on a journey. And then you have the Five of Wands, which is an exchange of ideas, an attempt to flee, and a new beginning emerges. But the new beginning is also a pioneering. So the glitch that was on Paranormal Rising channel, where they read true stories from people on Reddit, the guy has a memory as clear as day. He was 12 years old. A UFO appeared in his bedroom, and a kid comes out of the UFO and says, "Hi, I'm your great, 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 great grandchild. You're going to do something that's going to help with time travel and working with UFOs. You never forget that this experience happened to you." And then the little kid gets into the little UFO and boop, is gone. No, wait a minute. Then the kid says to the guy, "This is real." And he says, "I don't believe it's real." He said, "Okay, come with me." And then in a blink of an eye, he's 150 miles away in his grandparents' home. And he walks around quietly in the home, and they said, "See, you are going to be a part of this." And the next thing he knows, the guy is back in his home. He says, "I'm terrible at math. I have no intellectual capacities whatsoever in this area. But he said, and he's been with the same woman for like 20 years, whatever, no children. And towards the end, of their, as they got older, they said, if we're going to have kids, we better give it a shot. But probably the chances that we're going to be able to have kids are like close to zero. So they clean up their act. They start eating really healthy. She gets pregnant. She has a child. So he said, "I'm going to tell my child everything about what happened to me, that it was clear as day. I wasn't sleeping. This really happened to me. And then I feel it's my job that my son will then tell his daughter or his son. And then the story will continue on and on and on until it inspires whoever it's supposed to inspire, so that this can happen." So I thought that was really an incredible story about time travel. And when we think about ETs, now she's going to go towards knocking. She likes to knock my candles. She'll move towards the candles now. It means she's bored, and she'll start knocking everything off. This is what she does. So it speaks to this idea of this communication that maybe they are our future, that maybe it's all connected, that we conquer time travel, and maybe they come back again. And who knows? ETs could be some version of ourselves that's a million years into the future, which is why they look human. And that they come back and stop us from blowing ourselves up so that the future can happen. So that was one of the theories. But you can see here the Fool Takes a Leap scholarship. So it is kind of like an exchange, ETs communicating with the scholars and the intellectuals, the exchange of ideas. Also, Five of Wands, which is, again, exchange of ideas. Two of Wands. And Two of Pentacles, which would also be exchange of ideas, new beginnings, entrepreneurship, and the truth. So yes, I think on some level, they are us and we are them, and it could be a time loop. And so it has an extraterrestrial aspect, but it also has a futuristic aspect to it. And we are, there is this kind of communication happening. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely crazy. Thank you, Janice Eidenberg, for that donation of $9.99. Okay, next question. All right, people want to know what the story is with Tulsi Gabbard. Do y'all know about this? What Tulsi Gabbard's been up to? She has been speaking to she's not a Republican. I mean, she's not a Democrat, is she? Like, why is she running? I meant to say GOP and it was BOP. Oh, well. I wish I knew what was going on with Tulsi Gabbard. Let's take a look. Nothing else for you to knock over? No? Knocked over the flowers. Yeah, it was pretty good. All right, let's see. Tulsi Gabbard, what is going on with her? What is going on with Tulsi Gabbard? She was, I always see her going into the private sector, working with contracts or something like that, possibly with Russia or some type of foreign business. I always see that as her future, but now it's showing her plans going up in smoke. You can see Three of Swords. She's heartbroken over a financial business deal. She's completely confused about what the future holds, and there's the crash. So they're basically saying that Boebert had some kind of financial interest, which is, because of the current climate, completely falling apart. And I think that they're bought and sold. I think both parties run the risk because of dark money. The Democrats took a lot of dark money also. But this is showing that she's in a lot of trouble before. The situation is happening very quickly. She was given new opportunities, Ace of Wands, regarding some money she took, and then a Six of Wands, victory over some kind of confusion she's having. There's a new sheriff in town. Magician is coming over her over a crash. I think this crash. Look, maybe it wasn't supposed to happen that way, but when they shut down these oligarchs, they shut down a lot of dark money. And I think Gabbard is bought with those cards. Yeah, I think so. Don't you? Europe's largest nuclear plant is on fire. Where is the nuclear power plant? That sounds horrible. Where is hopefully not in Ukraine? Oh, I got my potassium iodide pills because they say you're supposed to have those. FEMA says they should be in your kit. So, oh, it is. Fire breaks out at nuclear power plant in Ukraine. Jeez. Very irresponsible. God, crazy. Ah, terrible. Hi, Equus333. Thank you for renewing your membership. It's appreciated. Hey, Geocosmic Valentine in the house. Please check out her channel. She is amazing astrologer. Oh my God. She did such a good job with Harry and Meghan. You can really see Geocosmic Valentine with that video you did, that their relationship had definitely a karmic connection, that they were supposed to be together. It's very good. You did a very good job. I guess they got shelled by Russia. We can't just sit back. Everybody's talking about how America doesn't want to get involved in another war. Look, we're already in the war. We're already in World War III. So we don't have a choice. We can sit back like sitting ducks, or we can put a stop to it as efficiently and quickly as possible, which I think is what Biden's planning on doing. When Biden says Putin doesn't have a clue what's coming, that's what he means. I see something happening very quickly, and it's going to be fast and it's going to be shocking. And I think some event, look, it can go either way, but if we don't do something, I think Kyiv is at risk in the next 2-3 days of falling, which is why I think. And then when you go into the energy of NATO, they're saying we cannot allow Kyiv to fall, which means they must be planning something in 2 to 3 days. He's paranoid. He's totally paranoid. How are we doing on time? I just want to make sure I have plenty of time to get to everybody's questions. And oh, I do. I thought I had a booking right after this, but it's open, so I can hang out with you guys. Woo-hoo! I love hanging out with you guys. Okay, so let's see. Where was that question we were looking at? Okay, so we did the Tulsi Gabbard. Oh, people want to know about Ivanka Trump being abused by her father. Rebecca Reed wants to know if Ivanka will ever come out with stories of being sexually abused by her father. Oof. What do y'all think about that? Do you think she was abused, or do you think that it's just something they play up for the camera to be shocking? Thank you, Carrie Dye, for that donation. I appreciate all the help. The channel appreciates it. Ivanka Trump abused by her father. Will she ever come out with it? I mean, a lot of people think that it's just the shock jock effect. They're doing it because it's a joke to get people to be freaked out. The whole Madonna be shocking, be outrageous, that there's power in that, and that's the joke. They're just trying to screw with people's heads. But that wouldn't make sense because in private whatevers, they're acting totally weird. I mean, unless they're trying to freak everybody out. I don't know. I could understand having a shock jock effect like Howard Stern if you're on the radio and you're trying to get listeners to tune in. All right, let's find out about Ivanka Trump, her future with her father. I want to go beyond that question and just see if she's going to break with him, if she's going to testify against him. It's really sick. What a sick group of people. This is fun. I like hanging out. I always feel like I have to rush because I usually have something I have to run and do. So it's kind of nice. It's like, I don't have to rush unless you guys want to check out another reader. But gosh darn it, I want to hang out. I don't want to go. I want to hang out. I always have to rush out. All right. Ivanka abused by her father. Oh, that's sad. Yes, there was some type of abuse that happened. Also, the main type of abuse had to do with exposure. So this is talking, when I go into this energy, that she may have been staying with him, with his friends, the clubs, the nightclubs, people acting crazy, getting drunk, strippers, prostitutes, drugs. So this is a young girl that's exposed to this at a very young age. When she should be getting sleep, she's being drugged into these parties at 14 and being exposed to morally questionable behavior by older men. That is how this looks to me when I put myself in her shoes. 9 of Swords, up at night, stressing, trauma. So this is the kid that doesn't want to go downstairs to the party and show off to my dad's friends or flirt with his friends or be sexually inappropriate. So she's torn about this. Come on, join the party. Come on. Let me show you my daughter. Like there's this kind of being pulled into this, and she doesn't, she feels at 14, she's put in a situation where she feels frightened by this environment. So it's not just her father, it's her father pulling her into a world she doesn't want to be in. What is the world? The world of sex and drugs, abuse, drug addiction, what stresses her out. So she witnesses it. So she witnesses it. She doesn't want to see it, and it's downstairs. So she stays at her dad's house on the weekend, or she stays at the club. The party's downstairs. She is trying to hide. She gets forced to go and participate somehow in this. She's trying to block it out, or she doesn't want to participate. That may cause psychologically a kind of split for her. She wants everything to be nice. She doesn't, how does she maintain a relationship with her father and not participate in all of this crazy behavior she's witnessing? So she goes to a smoother water. So on the one side of the picture, you have the rocky waters. On the other side, it's smoother waters. So it's a narrow situation. She rocks between the two. And then the Ace of Wands, which can be a phallic symbol. So she wants power. She wants to get ahead. She wants a relationship with her father, but she also finds herself in the middle of potentially, this almost looks like inappropriate behavior that extends beyond. So when you look at her, for example, Trump spent a lot of time in gentlemen's clubs around dancers and strippers and people like that, entertainers, and with the big hair and the big breast and that kind of energy. And so it's almost like he pushes his daughter to become one of those women. Like she gets her breast implants, she gets her hair done, and then she comes to DC and she's completely shunned because that whole sexy acting like a Las Vegas showgirl, it doesn't go over well in DC. So she realizes, whoa, this worked in Vegas, this worked in the New York nightclub scene, but it's not working here. It's really shunned in DC. So she cuts her hair, she lets it go a little darker. She has to make another adjustment, but it has that feeling to it. You can see of really being pulled into it. Do I think that she will break with Trump? I do think that it's almost like things she's stuck to that she can't get out of. Like He gags everyone. Everyone has been gagged, including his own daughter. Everyone's been told she is no different than anybody else that works for the Trump team. She's been gagged. She can't talk. Everybody has had to sign something. But she gets her wish. She's going to be able to get a break with her father. She's almost relieved by being out of this. 9 of Cups with the World card. So in a way, she's kind of relieved by the fact that she's able to get out of this. Wow, what a horrible bunch of records to go into. Did you see that? Yeesh. Hi, Red Gypsy. Thank you for, thanks to Whimsy World. Oh, thank you. Thank you for your $20 donation. It's really appreciated. Yeah, what is a 14-year-old kid trying to get a good night's sleep, going to stay with your dad for a weekend, and you start witnessing some crazy drugs and rock and roll, right? Prostitutes, showgirls, cocaine, booze. Come down and join the party. Have you met my daughter? She's really pretty. It has that kind of, come on, you're old enough. You can have a little wine. It's that kind of, when you look at those cards. All right, so this question is coming from Gail St. John. Hi, Gail. She wants to know what happened in Helsinki between Putin and Trump. Putin and Trump in Helsinki. Let's take a look. Yeah, Pam, it was a scene. It was a scene. Like, that's why Ivanka dyed her hair long and blonde, because it was a scene. That's what the women looked like. And like Stormy Daniels, the big breasts, the long blonde hair. But, and if you're working in that world with gangsters and in the clubs, it looks great, right? It fits the environment. It just didn't go over well in DC, so that's why she had to make an adjustment, right? Oh, David, you didn't see earlier? Mila, she came. She knocked the flowers over. She started chewing on my Buddhist malas. She go back and take a look. She made an entrance and she did a lot of damage. Okay, Putin's conversation in Helsinki. Let's take a look. I'll take a look at your question next, John. That's a good question, John Weber. Good question. Comments about Ivanka. Yeah, what do you do when your dad is trying to get you to dance on tables to make a business deal? My daughter's cute too. Take a look at her. She's going to be a beauty someday. It has that feel, like pulling her into the deal. Not good. Okay, Putin, what did they talk about? They talked about money and money deals and business deals and money opportunities. That is what Putin and Trump talked about in Helsinki. And so Trump thought that he was going to make money off of it. Like, why don't you like me? Why don't you want to have one of my hotels in Moscow? It has that feel to it. What did Trump want? He wanted to be liked by Daddy Putin, right? So we've done remote viewings. We've done profiles on the relationship between Trump and Donald, just from a remote viewer's perspective, and it looked like a pimp with a prostitute, where the pimp strokes and grooms the prostitute, and then in order to get daddy's love, you have to go and do something for me. So it has that psychological grooming the victim, right? So what did they want to talk about? Mutual business interest. Money. Offers to do deals. There's an insecurity there. No matter how much Trump kissed up to Putin, Putin never really gave him everything he wanted. He couldn't figure out why Putin didn't like him more. Locked out of the church, exile, Five of Pentacles, the guy that's got is not able to get a deal going, right? So how come you don't like me, Putin? Why won't you give me my hotel? I also was going to open a hotel in Kazakhstan. Like, he wants to be like his daddy, right? He wants to be like Putin. How can I be like you? I want to hang out with you. So it's hanging out with him, and clinging to him, and always dangling. It's the art of the deal. Only now it's being done to Trump, dangling the promise, right? And then Trump is left confused. I don't understand. You promised. There's confusion and exile from Trump. So the false knight who came bearing gifts regarding money. You want to make money? So I think there was confusion on Trump's part. He thought that he was going to get more business deals, more financial opportunities. He practically gushed when he was around Putin. They've all got crushes on each other, right? It's just like Kim Jong-un, the art of the deal. He wants to have the North Korean Riviera, right? We're going to have Trump Tower in North Korea. You're going to make all this money from all this great real estate, right? And there was something about money laundering possibly, because over the issue of finances and over the issue of poverty came the hidden money or the legacy, the inheritance. Ten of Pentacles has a family inheritance associated with it regarding Putin. So it also, the dark aspect of Ten of Pentacles is secrecy, right? So family secrets, if a family has issues, that can be an inverted Ten of Pentacles, for example. So loss of inheritance. So he kept secrets for him. Maybe he laundered for him. But the thing with Trump is that he always wanted a little more. He always wanted a little more. Okay, John Weber asked a really good question about the nuclear fallout. Let's try and find John's question. Oh, hi, Michelle, my belle. Good to see you here. Thank you for helping out today, by the way. Oh, where did you go, John? Will Russia's bombing of the nuclear plant force the coalition into direct action to end the invasion in Ukraine? That had to have been an accident, right? Was it an active nuclear power plant? Or was it a shut down nuclear power plant? All right, let's find out about this. Yeah, Janet Neal, it was an icky question about Ivanka, but people want to know. Okay, what is going to happen now with this nuclear power plant that's been hit by Russia, the Ukrainian nuclear power plant? Okay, I'm in. I'm inside. I'm inside the nuclear power plant. So basically, what the scientists and the people handling the nuclear power plant want people to know is that the nuclear power plant was already on high alert. So they had been on high alert for weeks. And so there were certain provisions that they made in order to protect the facility because they knew they were at risk for being hit. So that's the first thing they want us to know. So it's when I go into this energy as a remote viewer, I go in emotionally with the concern. The response I get is we were on high alert. We shut certain things down. We made certain things inactive. We have an emergency provisions in place. We knew this was likely to happen. So that's the first thing they want you to know. They weren't just sitting there fully active in the middle of a war. We were prepared for this. I'm getting more of the feed too. They're saying that 3 weeks ago they had there was something that came up 3 weeks ago where so they began to take necessary precautions. 3 weeks ago they started shutting stuff down. So that's good because they did a lot to protect the area so that this wouldn't, in case this was going to happen, there is going to be a world response. But the good news is that they did a lot to protect themselves. The world, the 10 of Cups. So the world is going to be okay because we shut stuff down. We put everything down deep, protected it. 3 weeks ago, we started to prep. We knew this could happen, so don't worry. We did everything we could to protect the area. This is increasingly looking bad for. There's emergency sessions going on in Russia. What to do. The people in positions of power in Russia are having to make emergency decisions similar to Article 25. Something is happening, some kind of emergency meetings. When I go into this energy, the plant is there. There's an open area this way with a road. And then to the right of me is where the light and the energy is. So that must be Moscow, and there's an emergency session happening. So that what happened here is that this is the final straw for Putin's cabinet. The cabinet is now starting to fully break with Putin. It's interesting when I go into it because I see the plant, then there's a road that leads into it, and then I go this way, and that's what takes me to Moscow. So this must have been the road must be to the northeast. So what are we talking? Is it in east? No, is it in the north? Interesting about Zelensky offering money. Well, it may have been an active plant, but they took precautions 3 weeks ago, according to what I'm getting. They weren't going to sit there keeping it active while the bombs were dropping. Okay, we got to that question. All right. So people want to know about the future. Hi, KR. Thank you for your question. She wants to know about the future of cryptocurrency, whether or not Amazon's going to start taking cryptocurrency. You all know, because you're educated people, that cryptocurrency has been associated with dark money. We've talked a lot about that on this channel. Okay, I'm getting a hit. So basically, they're saying that a lot of people are trying to come up with ways to deep hide their money. So there are ways that they can hide their money that are deep, almost like very, very deep so that people can't get to their money. And that's what's happening now with oligarchs, etc., when it comes to crypto. So we could see rises in certain crypto like Ethereum. There's a lot of Russian mafia has put into Bitcoin and Ethereum. The Black Sea, Linda Kingsley. Yeah, I remember a couple weeks ago, Putin kept showing me the Black Sea. He wanted control over the routes in the Black Sea. So yeah, expect more activity on the Black Sea. He can't get into the Black Sea, though. He's being locked in. Somebody's trying to lock him out. Somebody's locking Putin out from the east, from the southeast. Southeast. Oh. So that would be, he's going to get a break with Turkey, Iran. Huh. They're going to break with him. My head. Crimea is in the southeast. Oh, he's going to lose it. Oh, that's why I had to go this way to get to Moscow. So what's the road? So the road is coming from north to south. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, thank you. So the road is going from north to south. Then to the left of the road was the plant. And then when I looked east, I was in Moscow. Okay, thank you. I was a little lost there. I was like, what am I? Okay. So Russia's bombing. John Weber wants to know what's going to be the consequences. Strengthening of allies to stabilize the situation. You can see Six of Cups, more aid coming. Ukraine gets its wish. A judgment. We are marching into victory. Six of Wands. So yeah, because I keep thinking of Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Sometimes you got to fight. Sometimes, yes, it would be nice if we could all sit around and eat a vegan diet and sing Kumbaya. But when war comes to you and innocent children are being murdered, sometimes we got to fight. And so that is basically what you see in these cards with the Six of Cups, the Nine of Cups, a judgment, and then Six of Wands is to march into victory. We will win. So yeah, John, you're right. Good question. That's exactly what happens. The clarification over that, yeah, exactly. It's because of what happened. And the fact that, when you look at the profile, we talked about the profile a couple of days ago of Putin and how he reminded me of Saddam Hussein in the sense that Saddam began to just destroy everything, destroy the oil wells, everything. He began firing randomly at Israel, trying to get the Israelis to join in, trying to get everybody to fight, right? So you have this kind of attempt by Putin to break up NATO, to break up the alliance, and he just starts randomly trying to destroy things as he becomes increasingly desperate. But NATO is strong. Ukraine, strong. Here's a strong aggressive action. I get 2-3 days, and I think it just has to do, I think that some kind of action on the part of the West to strike is going to happen in about 2-3 days now. Yeah. Yeah, so somebody had said it would blow on Moscow. I would think so, because if Moscow is east, that's insane. But wait a minute, wasn't there a road? Didn't they also come in via that road? Because I'm seeing the road coming from north to south. So there's also a road going from north to south they must have come in on. Oh, that must be how the Russians, so from Russia to, oh, that would make sense because they're southeast. Hello, I haven't finished my coffee yet. So if Russia is coming in from the northeast to the southeast, that's the road. People are saying yes, Whimsy. I was never good at geography. I'm an American. I'm sorry. Okay. We're gonna do, you guys, think we should keep going, or what do you think? You wanna keep going? Are you guys getting burned out, or you wanna keep going? Well, thank you. Why not for that $10 donation? I really do appreciate, the donation. Should we keep going? Yeah? All right. People want to know GKR. Hi, GKR. Wants to know if we're going to be able to hold the Senate and the House in 2024. Midterms. We'll just call it the midterms. That work for everybody? How are we doing with the midterms? I feel like people don't want to focus on this. They want to focus on this war where we're literally in World War III right now, right? Let's hope it ends before it gets. Oh, Turkey is blocking. Oh, that's the East. That's the energy of the East. And also Iran could get involved. It's an existential crisis. I mean, this is going to be the first time that Iran and Saudi Arabia were on the same page for about 1,000 years, right? He managed to do something that nobody has done. He got the Sunni and the Shia to actually try and get along, right? Well, Erdogan allowed the pipeline, Nord 2, to go through Turkish Stream, right? It was always about the trade. Well, Geocosmic Valentine, who supports him? North Korea, but North Korea is a gnat, a pomp and circumstance signifying nothing. They don't have the money. Little bombs that try to create that keep crashing into the water. They've threatened Guam, right? Thank you, El Vigil, for that $4 donation. I really appreciate it. All right, let's check out the midterms. What is going on with the midterms? Who's going to win the midterms? Midterms. How are we going to do in the midterms? Oh, wow. This war crisis has really changed a lot of people's minds. It's like whatever the collective delusion was, people have really snapped out of it. And in a way, the bots, this kind of crazy stuff that was coming, these pro-Russian separatist people that were responsible for the bots. Remember, we talked about the fact that the pro-Russian separatists were going to be the majority of casualties because they were on the front line. And so they kind of were the targets when the bombing started to happen, when they talk about, 2,500 Russians getting killed, 500 Russian soldiers, right? Several hundred wounded. But if you're talking about the Donbass region, probably the majority of people that died were the pro-Russian Ukrainians, right? Because they were there in the middle of it. But you have an economic situation coming in with the midterms. And without the help of Russia, it could sink the Republican Party. That's basically what they're saying. Because what happened is that, it makes me think about McConnell and how McConnell was kind of sitting there like, oh my God, this means that we're not going to win the midterms because there's no money, honey. No money, no honey, right? So if you shut down the money stream, what's going to happen to your dark money? So the money man hangs it up. So it really takes a toll on the dark money. And then there's a coming into a time of the Queen of Cups. So that also leads me to think that there's more a feeling of cooperation and kindness with Americans. And then the Ace of Pentacles comes in, which is large sums of money. So I think that, for example, the NRA was taking large sums of money from Russia. Yeah, they shut down the money stream, and that's going to affect the extremist politicians that were taking money from other countries, because you have the money stream here, Ten of Swords. They had to hang it up. Look, the tower is coming. The money collapses, and that prevents some of these people from running. Look, their time is up. I think that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert are finished. Time is coming up for the extremism, money from outside the United States. Money coming from outside the United States is going to be blocked, and that's going to have a dramatic impact on the midterms. And I think that everything's going to be fine. If you go to 538, and you look at the statistics, it's actually looking better for the Democrats than it did in 2021, because the Republicans with the redistricting have lost 5 seats and the Democrats have gained 12. So what does that put us? That puts us ahead 17 seats. So they're being slaughtered with redistricting, and now they don't have any money. The assets have been seized from their donors. This is getting really good. So the goddess works in mysterious ways, doesn't she? Yes. All right. Thank you, Desiree Rabach. I believe did I thank you already? Thank you so much. And thank you. You matter to me. You matter to me too. That's funny. You matter to me. Half the party. Yes, half the party. But both Democrats and Republicans are taking dark money. Nobody should be taking dark money, even if we want it, right? We have to, Thank you, Cindy Thompson. It's very sweet of you. Hi, Dee. Go. Thank you for the $20 donation. Much appreciated. All right, we're going to keep going because we have like 1,200 people here. So until you guys get sick of me, right? So it looks like we're going to be fine in the midterms, and a lot of it had to do with the fact that I am so glad we cut off the dark money. This is awesome. All right, so this is something that GKR is asking that we didn't actually get to, which is to please look at the future of Ukraine. Will they remain a sovereign nation? Basically, what is the future of Ukraine? Well, Candescent Moon, we got dark money out by simply shutting it all down. They can't get their money. And the feds are all over it. Oh, that's a fun song, Cosmic Valentine. And we'll have fun, fun, fun till our daddy takes the T-bird away. Yes, that's kind of what's going on now with people that are taking dark money. Aw, Marie Hansen, I love you guys too. You kind of became my tribe, didn't you? We all go through ups and downs. I went through such a dark period, right? When I went through my divorce, me against the world, and then I found all you folks. Now life is good. We have each other. Oh, I wanted to say thank you before I go on with that to everyone who donated to my sister Sheridan. People had wanted an update. She was not eligible for the Zeifler valve because there were some medical issues that she had. But we did use, there's still a little money left over. We did use for groceries. She was struggling to make her bills because her Social Security, I think, was only like $720 a month or something. So we were able to keep her as comfortable as possible. She has been having some health decline. She is now she's moved to a new facility, so from her apartment, because it was just too much for her. So we'll keep you posted, but she wanted to just really thank everyone from the bottom of her heart for everything. She still tries to keep active in politics. She's not able to get out as much as she could before, but just love from my sister Sheridan to everyone who donated to help her. And she really, she was shocked at your kindness and just wanted everyone to know that she deeply appreciated the help. So that's what's going on. So thank you. So I basically told her that she could eat whatever she wants now, anything to make her happy. So she's been eating a lot of, well, I won't tell you what she's been eating, but we're trying to make her as happy as possible. So thank you for helping. All right, so the future of Ukraine. The future of Ukraine. What does the future of Ukraine look like? I'm just going to do 4 cards. The future of Ukraine. Okay, the first thing is that there's going to be a war crime. There is going to be war crimes charges. It's not just Putin that's in trouble. It's everybody that manufactured this, his generals. It's bad. The number of people that were killed, the cities that were decimated. When the smoke clears, a lot's going to happen. First off, this is Ukraine right now, 10 of Swords. This was a massacre. This was a massacre of a peaceful country that they were massacred. So that is where we're at right now. The massacres are happening, right? People are being killed. And then we have a peace delegation coming in. So some kind of peaceful delegation will come in, and that is the Knight of Cups. They come in to the war zone. So we have the horror happens, and then afterwards, this peace delegation comes in. So the aftermath. And the whole world is horrified. And then we have Putin. So there is Biden. There's an anger here, I feel. There's an anger and a pointing at the Western world. Why didn't you come in sooner? Why did you allow this to happen? Decimated. But after they're decimated, then the peacekeepers come. Biden is there. So the onus is on Biden. You knew this was going to happen. You knew these people were going to get killed. Why didn't you come in? Why didn't you come in sooner? That is the feeling. Not saying I'm taking sides. I'm saying after this nightmare is over and the peacekeepers come in, a lot of pressure is going to be put on Biden to explain how it got to this point. How did we allow this to happen? Why didn't we put a stop to it sooner? And then comes the investigation where the light will come out, where the truth will come out regarding what happened. They're going to actually call for an investigation to find out how this happened. Why was intelligence blocked? Why did we sit with our hands folded for years while this was being developed? A judgment is coming for the victims. Regarding the peacekeepers, they come with the sun, with the ray of hope over Biden regarding this issue. He's going to offer financial aid, medical aid. This is a financial assistance to Ukraine. Regarding the crimes against humanity, etc., it's going to go to the courts. You can see here the emperor. So it's horrible. It's going to get worse. I have to be honest. It's war is hell. This nightmare will come to an end. And when the smoke clears, healers will come to clean up the mess. There will be an internal investigation. The United States and other countries, but particularly Biden, will promise financial aid. and then there will be some kind of investigation because the high priestess comes in who bears the light, the Torah, the law, and then the emperor is the judge. So yeah, it's probably going to The Hague. Okay, thank you, Deb M. I think we thank you. Thank you, Carol Ancana, for the $10 donation. That's really sweet of you. Hi, Anna. So kind of you. Thank you so much. $50 donation from Anna. Much appreciation. Hi, Vivian Rivers. Thank you for sharing, Whimsy. Love your channel. Oh, so sweet. Oh, we have a new member. John Weber became an elder and an empath. Ooh, very nice. Wow, what do you think about that? That's pretty horrible, huh? Gee, I did not like seeing that Ten of Swords, but even with the Ten of Swords, the sun rises, doesn't it? When you see that energy over Putin, the paranoia and thinking his own people are trying to kill him, it explains so much, doesn't it? All right, we have a question here from Linda Paquette. She wants to know about Havana syndrome. Have you all been hearing about this, that we've actually improved our relations with Cuba and that they actually want our people to come back? They're really hoping after COVID that people will come back to the American embassy. They want to do business with the United States. They feel it would be good for their economy. They want to increase tourism. They like Biden. Obama opened up flights to Cuba. So they don't want to be in the middle of any of this. They're not taking Russia's side at all. Those were the old days. They don't want to be involved in this. But Havana syndrome, evidently some of the people got sick. People don't know what it is. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can get anything on Havana syndrome. I hope my soup isn't burning. Okay, what's going on with Havana syndrome? Havana syndrome. Huh, people need medical care, huh? I think they got hit by something. I think it was Russia. Whoever it was is going to be stopped. Whoever was involved in this, whether it was the Russians, they think it may have been a device that they were using to scan briefcases of information, and if it hits you, it could cause problems. The problem's being taken away. They're walking away. It's almost like a case they want to close in Cuba. It's almost like they, whoever was involved or Russians that may have come in and participated, it's like they want to sweep the past over. I really think, when you go into this, that Cuba really wants a relationship with the United States. They paid a heavy price financially for sanctions, and the old ways are gone. They want to get their lives back. And so they're very anxious to have us back. And whoever was responsible for this, they want that power taken away and these people removed. I'm more than happy to stay a couple more minutes, but I got to check my soup. Is that okay with you folks? I'm making pea soup. I just craved it. It gets cold. You start to crave pea soup. Just a second. Yeah. Yeah, Mila, I know. Okay, the soup is coming along. Should we do another one? Are we done? Are we done? We're going to do maybe one more. How's that? I know, Janine Johnson, we've talked about the fact that we got into a remote with the people that oversee it, and they said that they made precautions 3 weeks ago when they knew they were going to get hit. So it looks like they may have turned it off and done something to minimize damage to the plant. Thank God. Thank you, Irma de Santiago. Very kind of you for that donation. Yeah, the soup sounds good, right, Tammy? I try not to eat meat very often. I'm not a vegetarian, but I try to get comfortable with vegetarian food. If I feel my protein's a little weak, I'll have a little animal protein. I'm not extreme about anything, but I try to have most of my meals be vegetarian, simple. So last night I was watching this guy eating he was eating Popeye's fried chicken. And I thought, well, that looks good. Okay, I've gotten it out of my system. I've watched somebody else eat it. What I really want is pea soup. I just started craving like Anderson's pea soup. I don't know if you've ever had that. It's like the best pea soup. So, so today I decided to make it, and it's like it takes forever. If you want proper pea soup, you got to let it cook for like 5 hours, and then sometimes you have to add a little water, and then you have to whisk it, right? So it's been going since 1:30, so it's going to be really good. It's almost ready to be whisked. All right, we're going to do one more, and then I'm going to whisk my soup. Hi, Mila. You want to come and say hi? People were asking about you. Why don't you come say hello to everybody? You want to come say hi to the audience? And then we'll call it a day, and then you'll have your dinner. She usually eats at 5:30, so we went over. Hi, you ready for your dinner, aren't you? Your 5:30 meal, and then you have your happy nappy until 8 p.m.? Anyone ever tell you you're a creature of habits? That's Mila. You guys have a cat like that? Always wants to eat around 5:36 and then crashes till 8 p.m. and then comes up and wants to play at about 8, the witching hour, right? All right, one more, and then Mila wants to have her dinner because she's late to eat. All right, let's look at the future of voting rights in America. What is future of voting rights in America? Okay, the future of voting rights. Yeah. Gosh, I really feel like the dark money really did have tremendous power over Congress. It's like they honestly don't know what's happening. What will we do now? All our money streams are shut down. It's like real confusion over Congress right now. There's an offer to reach against the aisle. I think the Republican Party has been dramatically hit and weakened because you can see cooperation happening here with voters' rights. And look at this, it does pass. Chili dog, look, you got passing here, and waltzing into victory is the Knight of Cups, the knight on the white horse. Let's do the clarification over the confusion. Yeah, it had to do with their money stream. Look at that. The Justice Department, I tell you, there's things going on that boy is up to. Yes, it's going to pass because look at that. There was some sick relationships going on with money, and justice is coming in over the money. Somebody pulled the plug on the Republicans. Dang. They can't get their money. Was that all this was? It's like the bots, all the money that went into this, it's all been pulled. It was all coming from Ukraine and it's finished. Look at this. Death over the Republicans, the money, the devil, justice comes. Look at that. Yeah. The situation is transformed, and then Seven of Wands taking the high road. Yes, it will pass, and the Republican Party has been great, has taken an extreme hit because of this. If the Democrats want to win, there's a lot that's pointing to the fact that they can win. All they have to do now is focus on things like student loan forgiveness, the economy, those sorts of things that are hitting closer to home, because the Republicans have received a very hard hit without the help of the Ukrainian bots and that sort of thing. Dang, did you see those cards? I didn't know they were that dependent on bots, but that looked really awful. All right, thank you so much, man. You guys, you really were great today. But a lot of donations, very appreciated. A lot of amazing questions. Wow, those questions were awesome. Please be sure, if you haven't done so yet, if you can just share, like, subscribe to support the channel, it would be really great. If you're trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. The information is below this video. If you're struggling financially, it's cool. I get it. I'm now on Wizio. I make quick little videos. I answer your questions, so you'll always have a permanent record of your question answered. I think it's $20 for a 5-10 minute video. So we've been doing that for people who are struggling financially. Also, if you want to support my artistic endeavors and help me pay off the student loans, I did start a Patreon channel. You can listen to me sing, and I would seriously consider stripping if I thought it would pay off the $250,000 I owe in loans. But I don't think I think those days have come and gone. Yeah, McConnell was not happy. Dang. Those cards. I couldn't believe those cards. The devil over the money, the justice. Oh my God. That is a major hit for the Republican. I did not expect it to be that bad. Whew. We just have to focus on relief at home after we get through this nightmare. Yeah. All right, love and light, everyone. Thanks again. You guys are awesome. If you are a member, please join us Saturday for our spa day. Saturdays at noon, we get together and we talk about naturopathic medicine. I do have a doctoral degree in naturopathy. We talk about basic nutrition, health, etc. And we do blitzes. We do private readings for people, quick little questions, private readings for people who are members. If you are a fairy, angel, or above, you can attend, and it's noon, always noon on Saturdays, and it's just private for the members only. So it's usually a nice little get together. We talk about questions people have, everything from aromatherapy to what is what is the proper way to eat, nutrition. It's just a great way of using my doctoral degree to get basic information out. And it's also really great if you need to have a blitz, like, am I going to get the job? We also do private readings that way. All right. Love and light, everyone. Thank you so much. Please support the other readers because they are awesome. All right. Take care, everyone. Be strong. This too shall pass. Yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays.